Have you ever wondered about the woman who caught King David's eye and changed the course of biblical history? Our story begins with Bathsheba, an ordinary woman of extraordinary beauty. She was the wife of Uriah, a brave and loyal soldier in King David's army, yet her charm was so captivating that even the king couldn't resist her allure. Bathsheba, a simple woman, found herself elevated to the status of a queen, a position that came with its share of intrigues and complexities. Her life was destined to be intertwined with the king, a relationship that brewed a storm of controversy throughout the kingdom and beyond. Their liaison became a tale of love, lust, and ultimately a scandal that shook the very foundations of Israel. Their story is a testament to the power of desire, the consequences of our actions, and the unpredictability of fate. So, how did Bathsheba, a woman of such beauty, end up in the center of one of the Bible's most scandalous tales? Scene script. Picture this: a king, a rooftop, and a beautiful woman bathing. In the heart of Jerusalem, King David strode along the rooftop of his palace. It was an evening like any other, the sky painted with hues of red and orange as the sun began to set. Yet what he saw next was anything but ordinary. There, in the courtyard of a nearby home, bathed a woman of extraordinary beauty, Bathsheba. From this moment, the seeds of a tragic encounter were sown. King David, the shepherd boy turned king, a man after God's own heart, found himself entranced by Bathsheba's beauty. He inquired about her only to learn she was the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of his most loyal soldiers. Yet the knowledge of her marital status did nothing to quell the king's growing infatuation. Unable to resist his desires, King David had Bathsheba brought to him. A clandestine affair ensued, a secret they thought they could keep hidden. However, secrets have a way of revealing themselves, and in time, Bathsheba discovered she was with child. This news sent shockwaves through the palace, and King David found himself in a predicament. Frantic, King David hatched a plan to cover his tracks. He summoned Uriah from the battlefield, hoping he would sleep with his wife and assume the child was his own. But Uriah, ever the loyal soldier, refused to indulge in such comforts while his comrades were still in battle. King David tried again, this time getting Uriah drunk, but even then, Uriah did not go home to his wife. His attempts to hide his indiscretion had failed, leaving King David in a precarious situation. The impending scandal threatened not just his reputation, but his kingship. Yet this was just the beginning of a series of events that would drastically alter the course of his reign and the history of his people. But what lengths did King David go to cover up his indiscretion? In a desperate attempt to hide his sin, King David made a decision that would change their lives forever. In the throbbing heart of his palace, David hatched a plan, a scheme darker than the night itself. He ordered Uriah, Bathsheba's husband and one of his loyal soldiers, to the front line of the most heated battle, fully aware that it spelled certain doom. Uriah, a man of honor and integrity, marched into battle, oblivious to the knife plunged into his back by his own king. Indeed, the battlefield claimed Uriah's life just as David had intended. The news of Uriah's death reached the palace walls, echoing in the grand halls like a mournful dirge. A loyal soldier, a loving husband, Uriah was no more. Bathsheba, overcome with grief, mourned her husband's untimely death. Her heart, once filled with love, was now a vessel of sorrow and loss. Her tears, like the river Jordan, flowed freely, mourning a love that was brutally extinguished. In the midst of her grieving, David extended his hand, offering solace in marriage to the mourning widow. Bathsheba, lost in her sorrow, accepted the king's proposal. And so, they were wed, their union veiled under the shadow of their transgressions. King David, in his desperate attempt to correct one sin, had committed another, a sin that would echo across his reign. Yet the walls of the palace, the silent witnesses to their deeds, whispered their secrets. The echoes of their actions reverberated through the kingdom, sowing the seeds of discontent and mistrust. The once beloved king was now viewed with suspicion and derision. His crown, once a symbol of honor and valor, now sat heavily on his head, a constant reminder of his devastating choices. David's decision to cover up his affair with Bathsheba had led to a series of events that spiraled out of control, causing a ripple effect in their lives and the lives of those around them. The king, the shepherd of his people, had fallen from grace, his actions casting a dark shadow over his reign. But was this the end of their troubles, or just the beginning? In the midst of scandal and sin, could redemption and legacy still be found? It may seem improbable, but in the biblical narrative, divine grace often shines brightest against the backdrop of human frailty. The first child of King David and Bathsheba, conceived in sin, did not survive infancy. This was seen as divine retribution for their transgressions. The death of their child was a painful consequence, a stark reminder of the cost of their actions. Yet, even in this moment of profound sorrow, a new chapter was about to unfold. Bathsheba became pregnant again, and this time, she gave birth to a son they named Solomon. The scriptures tell us that the Lord loved Solomon, and because of this divine favor, he grew to become one of the most renowned kings in Israel's history. But Bathsheba's story didn't end with giving birth to a future king. She played a pivotal role in ensuring Solomon's succession to the throne. When Adonijah, David's elder son, tried to claim the throne for himself, it was Bathsheba who fearlessly approached the ailing King David. She reminded him of his promise that Solomon would be his successor. Her courage and determination ensured that Solomon was crowned king, fulfilling David's promise and God's plan. In the grand scheme of the biblical narrative, Bathsheba's story is one of redemption and resilience. It shows us that even in the face of scandal and tragedy, God's plans can still unfold. Bathsheba, a woman who was initially a victim of King David's desires, emerged as a decisive figure in the royal lineage. Her journey from the wife of Uriah to the queen mother of Solomon is a testament to her strength and tenacity. It's a narrative that reminds us that our past does not dictate our future, and that transformation is possible, even in the most unlikely of circumstances. And so Bathsheba, once an ordinary woman, left an extraordinary legacy. So, what does Bathsheba's story tell us about the biblical narrative? Well, it's a potent testament to the human condition. It paints a vivid picture of the themes of sin, repentance, and redemption. King David, a man after God's own heart, falters, succumbing to temptation. But through repentance and the grace of God, he finds redemption. Bathsheba, too, emerges as a figure of strength and resilience. She navigates through the tribulations of life, bearing the weight of tragedy and loss, yet maintains her faith and dignity. Her story is a testament to the power of endurance and the strength of a woman's spirit. Moreover, their narrative serves as a testament to God's grace and forgiveness. Despite their transgressions, God's mercy prevails, highlighting the overarching theme of divine love and forgiveness that pervades the biblical narrative. Bathsheba's tale is a reminder of our human frailty, the power of repentance, and the extraordinary ways in which ordinary people can shape history.